welcome back to the channel, and thanks for joining me today to discuss my goals or targets for 2020. Made a few notes, so apologies if I keep referring to them, but although I know what they are, I've just got myself a few reminders. Not often I just sit and talk to the camera, usually we're out on the bike, we're on the trail, but I thought it was important to just put down on film what my goals are for 2020. And it'd be great for you guys to comment down below as to what your goals or targets are for 2020. Do you have them? Do you think about them? It's just not part of your riding technique. And it got me wondering, you know, in the case of which came first, chicken and the egg, it's which came first, is it goals and targets or progression? Because you need to set a target in order to progress, but without progression you don't really set yourself a target. So something to think about. But what are my suggestions or recommendations in order to progress your riding? This is exactly what I've been doing for the last 12-18 months, and what I'm particularly going to do now for 2020 is to ramp that progression up and to really get my riding where I would like it to be, and hitting trails and features that you know, others ride with. It's more my aspiration, if you like. So this is me laying down a foundation in order to get where I want to be. So how to progress, my tips, I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but this is my thought process and how I would approach this in order to get where I want to be. So first is YouTube. Yeah, I use YouTube a lot. Obviously these films edits are on YouTube, but I use it to help me with my riding, whether it's to if you like research a particular trail, to see what's on there, what the jumps are like. It doesn't always replicate it directly, but it gives you a fair idea of what's to come. It's good doing dry laps, particularly my local Bike Park Wales. Chris Bishop is an ambassador for Bike Park Wales. I use and watch his videos a lot. I'll put a link in the description down below to his channel, and in particular one of the routes that I'm going to discuss today. But I find it a valuable source of information, and great to read other people's comments and feedbacks, whether it's how-tos or how to improve, etc. So YouTube is a great source, so I would urge you to get on and to use that as a tool far more often. The other is riding with a group or a club. I ride with my local group, Bike Shreds. Happens to be a local bike shop as well, so I support them and go in there and have my bike serviced and looked after. It's also a great community to be part of, whether that's a Christmas ride, a New Year's ride, you know, your weekly rides, or even away days. I also ride with Castle MTB, again another local group in Caerphilly. I follow a few others locally, so Aberdare MTB, ride a lot around the Bike Park Wales. Risker Riders, who rides in the Cwmcarn and Wiley area, the Smilog Trails, Linvi Valley down in Avon Bike Park, and the Bike Doctor Club over in the Barry Siding. So although I don't get out and ride with them weekly, I do intend to this year, but it's great to see what they ride, where they ride, what's going on within that community, so that helps us a lot as well with your progression. You know, you learn and improve so much by being in a group. There's always somebody in that group that's better, faster. You know, their skills are there to impart their knowledge and to share what they can do, just to follow different lines and to give you that confidence. And there's a big safety as well being in a group, particularly with the night rides. And if you have a mechanical, odds are within the group the tools are there, the spare parts, and somebody again will help you out and get you on your way. There's always, you know, more to laugh about, and they'll take you to trails that you never even knew existed. So you'll be riding different locations, and they'll always give you an idea of what to expect when you're on that trail. So you know, I rode on my own for quite a few years, but kept riding the same trails, and you know, nothing was really progressing. As soon as I started riding with Bike Shreds, then my riding's come on leaps and bounds because of the people I'm riding with, and you know, it's just a great community to be part of. And again, you've got to set yourself some goals and some targets in order to progress. You know, my first one was to be that year and a half back since I've been riding with Bike Shreds was to get out and join a group. to be part of that community in the area, and I could see that as the best way of progressing, so I did that. As I say, this year it's about targets and goals, so set yourself goals and targets with your riding. You know, if you've always riding the same trails in the same way, then you'll always remain safe within your limits. If you wonder why your riding's not improving, then that's a big part of it. You're just doing the same thing every time you go out. So, you know, how can you expect a different outcome if you're doing the same thing? You know, reach new limits, give yourself some goals, some targets, and commit to it. That's the biggest thing, is to commit to it. You know, so comment below as to what your targets are for 2020, whether you set them, whether you haven't. You know, did you reach your targets from last year? So, that said, what are my 3 goals for 2020? What am I set myself, and what am I looking to do, and how am I going to do that? So, number 1 is ultimately to ride a black trail. I've progressed from blues to reds, purely riding with the group, and I've got my skills up. So now I'm looking to kick on and go from riding reds and riding them confidently to riding blacks. So the first part of that was to ride in Mynydd at the Cwmcarn bike park. I've actually done that now. I've been back 3 times, and each time started with the bottom, then halfway up, and out the top. So I've ridden it. I wouldn't say I've done it particularly successfully. There's a lot of features I had to ride around. In particular, the road gap halfway down, or road drop rather. So my first goal is to ride that and ride it successfully, and then to ride the whole trail. The trail kind of starts with 3 top sections. You have a choice, 2 middle sections, and then the 1 bottom section. So, you know, I'm looking to ride all parts of that trail and to ultimately hit that road drop successfully and confidently. So I'll just put the picture of that in now, so you can see what I'm referring to. And again, there'll be links down below to a couple of YouTubers that have done them and put the films out there, so you can get an idea of what I'm referring to. But to have a look at this drop, it's sizable, it's bigger than anything I've done at the moment. At the moment I'm dropping to flat, but this is a drop to a downward landing, so you're coming in at a bit more speed. And for me it's just a bit scarier. You know, the further out you go, the bigger you're going to drop. But that's what I'm committing to reach. The second is the A470 jump line at Bike Park Wales. Again, I'll just insert a photograph now, so you know what I'm referring to. But this is, for me, I've ridden many rides at Bike Park Wales, but I've kind of always not done this because it's a pure jump line and I'm not a jumper. I've done all the other drop lines, and some that sit in theory above this particular line. So I've done Routes Manoeuvres, Hot Stepper, Bonneville, I've even done the ACDC and What's Occurring. You can't say I've done them particularly, you know, hit them successfully on the jumping aspect, but I've gone to them. The A470 is more lippy, tables, but big tables. So anyway, I'll come back to that in a moment. And then finally, once I've done the road drop at a Mynydd, the jump line at the A470, then I'll be looking to do the GBU at Forest of Dean, so the good, bad and the ugly, in particular the 2 drops at the bottom, which, well, the first time I saw them when I was over there doing the XE loops, it was just like, how can you do that? How is it even possible? So, you know, I can't believe I'm even saying that I'm committing to hitting them before the end of the year. So, you know, I've got my steps in which I'm going to do that. So, as I say, how am I going to do this, and what's going to get me there ready? So I'm going to be going from, as I say, riding Routes Manoeuvres and Hot Stepper, which are reds at the bike park, to riding Mynydd, which is a black at Cwmcarn, excuse me, and the GBU Drop, which again are both blacks. How am I going to clear the A470 jump line when it's a red? And at the moment I can't clear Popley Ping, which is the blue jump trail. So as with any goal or target, you know, I'm going to break it down into stages in order to get myself ready. So looking back at the road drop at a Mynydd, so I'll just put the picture in again so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've already completed a full run, and we'll look to go back and session the track and build up to the road drop. I'm using better riders to tow me into the features, in particular Will and Matt that I ride with. with bike shreds, and no doubt I'll be going back many times with them and with others to get that experience, to get more comfortable and more confident with the speed and the drop and the other features on that particular trail, of which I've already said there's 3 lines at the top, there's 2 in the middle, and then there's the road drop and 1 line at the bottom. And then as you get to the bottom, there's some bigger tables as well. So I just want to be able to carry speed. To carry speed, you've got to be able to hit these drops and jumps, and then you can get off the brakes a bit more. Maybe my pads will last a bit longer. So I've committed to do this now every Saturday until it's done. As I say, I've already been there 3 times. I've already now slowly built up and done a full lap of that particular track. I know what's coming. I maybe need to go back up there and just walk the top a bit more again, because there's some bigger drops there, some gap drops, and it's a case of do you ride around it or do you carry speed and go over the drop. So that's my first target, is to get that done, and I'm fairly confident. I'm not far away now from hitting the road drop. Once I've done that, it's about hitting the whole line with confidence and with speed, and doing that. And of course we'll be catching that on video, so you can see that here on the channel. The second then will be the A470 jump line. Again, I'll put a picture back on screen now so we can see what we're talking about. I'm already committed, already dedicating time to jump progression. I'm down at the Van Road jump trails at the moment weekly, and hoping to keep that, well, looking to keep that up, to progress. I'm down on the small tables at the moment. Once I can get the technique right, then I'll be looking to add speed and distance, so then go into the bigger jump lines at Van Road trails and the bigger tables. Once I can get that pump technique off the lip, then I know I can start carrying speed more confidently and getting more distance, and that's what I'm going to need for the bottom part of the Mynydd Trail, but equally the A470 jump line. So we'll take that technique session, then poppity ping up at Bike Park Wales, which is a blue, and once I'm clearing that confidently and successfully, then we'll be looking to get onto the A470 line and run the practice laps and start building that up in order to improve on the 470 line. And then finally, once I've done the Mynydd and the A470 jump line, I'll be looking then to commit to the GBU line at Forest of Dean. So I'll kind of do that in the same way I've done in Mynydd. I'll break the trail down, I'll hit it in sections and start ticking off the features within that trail, but ultimately I'll be riding it with friends, with people that I know have done it before, who are confident, can give me the right speed, and ultimately that confidence, if you like, and I'll be following them down the trail. So once I'm comfortable on the road drop, complete all features of Mynydd, I'll be ready to face and tackle, I think, the GBU at the Forest of Dean. Again, I'll look to session it with friends and commit. So there you go, those are my three goals, and as I talk about it, it's getting more daunting. With the road drop in Mynydd, the A470 jump line and GBU drops, that's my 2020, and I'll be documenting that as I look to progress on the jumps and on the features, and I hope you're looking to join me through the year and can maybe take some tips from what I do and how I do it, and apply that to your own riding and your own techniques and your own targets for 2020. So please comment below what you feel. If there's a feature you've hit that you were looking to hit and have finally ticked that off. But it's something that's helped me in my goals and targets is to break it down, to put it down on pen and paper, put it up on the fridge, remind yourself what you're doing, be more public about it and put it out there on the internet. I've already commented on Facebook that I'll be hitting the GBU drop on the Cardiff MTB site. Sorry, I also follow them. Sorry guys. And I'll put those links in the description down below so you can check them out as to what they do and where they ride. But quite a busy year ahead, but it's only going to help, and once you've invested in yourself and you've got those skills, your riding's going to progress, and from there on in everything will be a lot easier and a lot better, and I can start hitting the trails I want to hit and not riding around things. So looking forward to it, and looking forward to the end result, which is having all that skill and knowledge and enjoying it more. So thank you very much. As always guys, happy days, and keep riding those blue sky trails. Catch you on the next one.